Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk a little bit about the concept of what some guys and people in general call the friend zone, or being friend zoned, or otherwise feeling rejected and only having the opportunity to be friends with someone, and how horrible that can feel. And there was a meme circulating on another popular social media site that I frequent every now and then that said something to the effect of, we hear how often they specifically said men, but just substitute men with people for a second. Let's take gender out of this and just kind of focus on the idea. Um, we hear people talking about the idea of how horrible it feels to be friend zoned, but we don't talk about how horrible it feels to essentially feel like you're nothing more than a piece of meat, or that you're nothing more than an object for desire instead of an actual person, and how it feels like to be simply friends with someone is almost like demeaning or insulting. And I read this meme and I couldn't agree with the concept more. It kind of summed up something I felt for a long time when it came to like people I know and even good friends of mine who talk about how horrible it is to be in the friend zone and things like that when it comes to romantic relations and sexual relations and things like that. And I just thought that it was such a profound statement. It got me thinking more about it, and it got me reflecting on my younger days and how I felt sometimes when I had shown interest in a particular woman that I was interested in, and how they said, let's just be friends, and how much it hurt my fragile male ego at the time, and and how I felt so hurt by it, and and how I might have reacted in an inappropriate way sometimes, like by getting defensive or saying, well, fine, I didn't, want to be with you anyway. It's like, well, obviously I did want to be with someone, or I did have a crush on someone, but a way of coping is just by denying that you even had the feelings in the first place. And I think it just comes from cultural norms and social rules and constructs that were socialized by a young age, and just learned behavior, not just with our parents and everything, but culturally speaking, and like in like movies and film as well. So it made me think more about that end of things, and it also got me to really think again, most importantly, from the perspective of the person that feels like they were a piece of meat or objectified in some way, and how horrible that must feel for them, because they're in no way in control of that situation. It happens to them. Someone comes up to them and says, well, I really like you, and I'd like to take you on a date. And you might even go on a date with them, and then you discover there's no chemistry there, or worse, you feel like they're just trying to get into bed with you, and you're not comfortable with that, and you express, I'm not comfortable with that, but you're still, I still like you. We could still be friends and hang out. And then they just turn sour on you and get maybe even angry or upset, or just ghost you. And that's got to feel so horrible. That's got to feel absolutely horrible. And sure, rejection never feels good. No one wants to feel rejected. Everyone wants to feel important or loved or special in some way. But you also have to keep in mind, if you're one of the people out there that's watching this that doesn't like the idea of being friend zoned, or if you don't like the idea of someone like keeping you around as a friend, really think about this. If you're really interested in that person, what's wrong with being their friend? There's so many advantages to this situation. You can be friends with them, learn more about them, and maybe you'll find out that you don't really want to be with them anyways, but they're still really cool to hang out with. Maybe you'll spend some time with them and they'll discover they do like you, and they'll see other qualities of you they didn't see before when you were stumbling over your words trying to express your interest in that person. Who knows? Anything can happen. But you stand to gain more by being in good with other people, and showing them respect, and genuinely caring about them. And does that make sense? I certainly hope so. You stand to gain more by being friends with them, because even if your goal is to just be physical and have a fun time, if you can be honest about that, you'd be surprised in what can happen if you are honest about your intentions and what you want out of an exchange. Um, by taking people out to go to dinners and dancing and buy them drinks and gifts and stuff like that, you should do that only if you genuinely want to give them something, not expecting something in return. That's not cool. You shouldn't put people in a position where they feel like they're obligated to to give you a romantic situation or to reciprocate gift giving. Gift giving should be that. It should be gifting without the expectation of return. It shouldn't be like this quid pro quo kind of exchange, especially when it comes to like relationships. You know, consent's very important. People have to feel comfortable and safe to go forward with a particular exchange, and I think that's something that's very much worth talking about. And I thank you for listening what I have to say about it today. I really do appreciate it a lot. It was just on my mind today. It was passing through the social medias, and that came up, and I felt like sharing this particular post and having a conversation with people about it. I like having conversations and discovering better and newer perspectives. And also, again, before I forget, for the same folks out there that are upset about being friend zoned, I'm not trying to shame anyone for feeling that way. I know what it's like to feel that way. But just imagine how many times you've been approached by someone that you were not physically attracted to, and you turned them down, how that must have made them feel. Like, put yourself in that position and realize that sometimes when you're approaching someone, they might feel that exact same way about you. Just keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that you're less than attractive. It just means that they're not attracted to you. You know, it doesn't mean that you're not attractive. It doesn't mean that you're not a good-looking person or and beyond looks. Like most of this friend zone crap, in my opinion, comes from just pure physical attraction. If you were interested in other things beyond physical attraction, maybe you wouldn't be so afraid of being friend zoned. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to assume. I'm talking to a general audience, so please don't take this personally, anyone who's watching this. But consider these things. You know, maybe it'll help someone. I hope that this helps someone. And I wish that I thought about this more when I was younger, when I was afraid of rejection and afraid of approaching. And also, my reasons for approaching were mostly entirely based, like many of us younger folks, on physical attraction and physical beauty. We would make excuses for people's bad behavior because of how beautiful they were. At least when I say we, I mean me and people in my generation, or at least in my particular area of the planet Earth. And many of us were like that. And it's not to say everyone was like that. There was some much more mature ones amongst us, and I wasn't one of them. But there was many more who, there were at least some that were plenty more mature than that dated other people based off of the quality of their character rather than the attractiveness of their measurements or their hair color or their style and the clothes they wear and things like that. So yeah, thanks for listening to my rant here tonight. And and forgive me once again, another thing to add to this. There's so much in my mind. This was not organized or scripted. This is just off the top of my head here. You stand to gain more by being friends with other people. I know I said that already, but when it comes to men who are insecure and they approach a lady and they like you enough to be friends with you, like that's a really good thing. And it's a really good idea to be friends with them because who knows? Maybe she knows somebody else that would be a better fit for you and that might like you for who you really are instead of what you look like, and vice versa. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet someone that you're more even physically attracted to, who you're also more intellectually and emotionally and psychologically attracted to in the process of keeping friends with these people. When I say these people, I mean people who are more socially adept. And I hate to use gender stereotyping, but for the most part, women are more socially adept than men are, and they tend to be more social amongst themselves and with other people, while men tend to be more quiet and reserved and not talk about their feelings as much with other men or in general. Now, I know I'm gender stereotyping. That's dangerous ground to walk on, especially in this day and age of 2021. But I'm pretty sure that most people can understand what I'm trying to communicate here because I'm talking more in lines of outdated, archaic gender stereotypes when it comes to that. I hope that makes sense for the folks out there. And the world's changing, and it's becoming a very confusing place very quickly. There's a lot of positive changes and good changes and progressive changes coming along, and there's a lot of questionable ones that I have to what's going on in this world, you know? But call me old-fashioned. I'm 38. The world's changing, and so am I. And we're all learning and growing every single day we live on this planet. So now I'll end the video, and I'll thank you very much for watching. This has been my video about the concept of friend zoning and being friend zoned, and what that entails, and why I think that maybe for those who are upset about being friend zoned might want to reconsider what it means and what their motivations are to be with other people, and to look at it in a positive light instead of thinking that it's a personal attack on them, when it's very far from that. It takes two to tango, and you really want someone who really likes you for who you are, not for what you stand to gain. And I hope it makes sense. Thanks for watching, folks. And before I sign off, please let me direct you to my playlist section. Once again, I post every single day for the year of 2021. I made a video every single day of this year, and I will do it for every single day of this year for the last couple days of this year. I'm very ecstatic that this year is almost over for this experiment that I've been doing. I'm looking forward to wonderful new changes in the next year, and I've organized all the content I made this year into different playlists because I post about way too many different things. I don't specialize here on YouTube. They say to be successful here on YouTube is you want to specialize in something, and I just like I like being interested in many things and talking about many things. So if you're interested in some rando guy talking about rando things, maybe subscribe to the channel, and by next year you can expect better quality content instead of quantity of content by the amazing Flec here, circus performer, weirdo extraordinaire guy, and be sure to check out my circus and flow arts tutorials. I've been doing another circus and flow arts tutorial every single Sunday or Monday morning of this year, and there's 52 videos to conclude this year's circus and flow arts tutorials. Some are a lot better than others, some I'm much more proud of than others, but for better or for worse, I did it. I lived up to my challenge so far, and I hope that you'd go check out the content and see if there's anything there that might pique your interest. But now I'll officially end the video with my words I've been using to end all my videos lately with, and it's this. Remember to never give up and to do your best, to stay true to you and who you are and what you stand for, and to be amazing. That's it. That's it. Oh, and to be amazing, it's not just like, doing silly human tricks and juggling balls. What I really mean by that is to be the best possible version of exactly who you are, to the best of your ability. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate it more than you would guess. We'll meet up again, hopefully. Till then, my friends, good night.